This is Lisa from Books More Celebrations Bootcamp. It's Monday night. I am so thrilled with everyone that came up on Facebook and joined us live on Zoom last week. I want to hear all about your experience, what you loved about it, what was the most challenging, what was the most helpful for your business. But tonight, I want to just do a quick recap for you of the 5 days from last week, the things that we highlighted, the things that are so important to your business to take it from part-time side hustle to full-time, even business boss status, right? Because that's what this program's about. This is what this fabulous program I've been talking about for the last week is about. It's about taking your event business that you pour so much passion and time and energy and love into and really want to take it to the next level and make it your full-time job. So I just wanted to go over a few points from last week. I'm not going to go into all the details again. Your replays are available at least through tomorrow. I'm thinking about extending them another day or two because I know that there are people that during summertime, they need a little extra time. So I'm thinking about maybe extending the replays till Wednesday, Thursday. Tell me in the comments what you think about that. Would you take advantage of being able to watch those replays if I give you just a little bit more time to do that? So last Monday, we talked about niching, and niching is so important. That's that first step in the process to making it a full-time career. If you serve everybody and try and be your specialty, your special category of event business, if you try and be all things to everybody, you are not going to stand out to anybody, and that is so important. So I've talked to many of you this past week that thought that replay, that live video or the replay last week was just absolutely essential to your business, knowing what your actual niche is. So when we're talking about niching, that is really honing in on what do you do? What do you love doing? What would you like to do more of? And really honing in on that and making it your event business. So if you're a florist or a event planner, an officiant, a band leader, musician, if you are doing coordination, event rentals, etc., pastry chef, knowing your audience is also going to be very, very, very important. So you're taking this event business that you absolutely love, you're niching down, deciding who is your ideal client. Your ideal client is going to be much different than the person down the street from you that may be doing the same exact thing, right? So knowing, I don't know what just happened. My Facebook went all glitchy. Hi again. So part 2, I guess. Bear with me here. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, so you've got this wonderful event business that you have, and you're going to niche down and you're going to target your ideal audience. So if your ideal audience is clients who are getting married that have, let's say, a nice strong budget, 150 guests, maybe 200 guests, they want really high-end decor, florals, they want the best band, the best DJ, they want the best of everything, you're going to have a different target market, different target audience, and a different marketing plan than someone who really wants those intimate weddings with, let's say, 50 people, 30 people there. Their budgets might be the same size. They might have a lot of money to spend, but they want to spend it on a very small group of people coming to their wedding. On the flip side, if you're in the corporate sector of business for events, then you're going to have a whole other tune in to your event business audience and a whole different niche, right? Working with corporate is not the same as working with a couple or on a Sweet 16, quinceanera, a mitzvah. My husband and I just were hired tonight to do another photo booth that's coming up this October. It's a 4-hour photo booth. That's so much different than doing a 4-hour photo booth at a corporate event or at a wedding. So we have the same setup, but we have different things going on at the event that we need to be aware of. The checking in with the venue might be a little bit different too, depending on the type of venue. There could be different rules, etc. Knowing our audience, knowing who we are serving, and really specializing in providing the photo booth experiences for our clients. The way we target our marketing is so important. So we started out in the event business targeting, what's up? What? He's listening. Wait a minute. My husband's listening. Did everybody hear that? How often do you hear that? Right? Oh my gosh. You caught me in a moment there, everybody. He was listening. Just give me a second. I want to absorb that. Honestly, though, I love Joe. He's amazing, and you'll meet him if you join our 4-month Event Business Boss program. He's going to pop on once in a while, whether he knows it or not. I'll make sure that he gets on there. Just saying, babes. Anyhow, so I hope that you're having a great evening. I really want to also cover with you. So we talked about niching. Day 2 was all about marketing and branding, and it was the digital marketing side of things. There's so many different elements to digital marketing, but you have to hone in on your niche before you get to that point. Then on getting into the branding and digital marketing and the traditional type of print marketing, you have to establish a brand with that. If you're all over the place, no one is going to really pick up on how you stand out, right? We talked about that last week, but if you have 4 storefronts next to each other that all provide the same services or products, which one will you walk into? If you don't set yourself apart, your potential customer will be extremely confused. So it's very important that you do that. On Wednesday, we covered networking and building relationships. And that wasn't just for networking and building relationships with professionals, but also with your target audience. That relationship building, getting to know your clients, not just meeting them somewhere, hoping if they take a card that they're going to become your clients. It's really building that relationship. On the professional level is finding groups near you that already exist that you can leverage, whether it's the current corporations that you're already aware of, the different vendors that you already know, networking groups like chambers of commerce, maybe there's a wedding or event vendors group near you. And if there isn't, you can start one. You can. I did. We have almost 2,000 members now. It's about 10 years later, and people were posting like crazy today looking for, I need a photographer for this. We need, my couple is looking for hair and makeup for this date, for this many people, etc. You start networking and people start trusting, as Kathleen said last week, knowing, liking, and trusting you, and you're building your reputation. They'll start coming to you for recommendations, the professionals and the potential clients. Okay, there was so much in that. If you get a chance, watch that replay on networking and relationship building. Watch them all if you can, because don't forget, they're coming down this week. I'm telling you, I'm considering extending how long they're up for, but right now they're scheduled to come down tomorrow. Thursday, we talked about sales, packaging, pricing, and we had Kathleen Vicenzotti on. And I want to give a lot of credit to the wonderful speakers that we had last week. Kristen and Kathleen and Brenda were all incredible in their own ways. And I really encourage you to watch those replays. Thursday was Kathleen Vicenzotti. She was fabulous. She was talking to us about sales and how to connect with your clients. So if you haven't done so already, there is the bank profile. It's under promotions, and it's also under day 4. So there's a link there that you can save $99, absolutely free. Click this link, take the personality profile, and it will tell you what kind of personality that you have, that when people are having you sit in front of them as their clients, that they should be taking into consideration. But you also can see the flip side of that in the future with bank and really tuning into your clients by knowing their personality profiles. If you haven't checked it out yet, if you filled in your email address, you would have gotten a report from them, and reach out to me too. I have a whole different report that I can share with you on really tuning into your clients. Okay. So sales, it's really that intuition, asking the right questions, presenting differently depending on who's in front of you. All right. We also talked about packaging and pricing. And one of the things that I noticed was such a challenge for so many people was the actual pricing and packaging, what you are worth. You can set a price for something, but if you don't really dive into what your costs are and your time is, you are selling yourself short. I can just about guarantee it. So we went into a few examples of that. Didn't go through the pricing for everybody, but a lot of people work through that in the worksheets and the workbook where, let's say they're creating, let's give me an idea, like cupcakes. Let's do cupcakes because I'm hungry. I didn't have dinner yet. It's 10:17 at night and I still haven't had dinner. So I'm going to talk about food, okay? Let's not do cupcakes though. Let's say it's wood-fired pizzas in a pizza truck. I know, Joe. I know. Pizza sounds good right now. He just had a sandwich, but he'd have the pizza too, I think, if I got it, because we like our wood-fired pizza around here. So let's say you have a pizza truck, right? And you decide, you know what? I think a fair price for pizza when I go to a pizzeria for dinner, probably about $18 for the whole pie, right? But when you're providing a service for an event and you're bringing a truck and you only have a certain size audience there, that a certain number of guests that are actually going to be served this pizza, then you have to take that into consideration as well. You have gas, you have the insurance for the truck, you have the liability insurance for the business that you're running, the gasoline, the tolls, the time it takes to prep, the time it takes to shop, the amount of money that goes into buying the products to make the pizzas, the toppings, the flour, what else goes in the flour, the sauces. It could be all different sauces depending on the company. You might have, Joe, hold yourself back when I say this. You might be offering cauliflower or gluten-free pizzas. He does not like that stuff. He's going to be very, very quiet right now, though, because it's okay. He doesn't have to eat that. He's going to eat the regular pizza, right? So you have that. You're going to offer beverages. How are you going to make sure that all of your stuff is kept, the food is kept safe? You have to have the cooling, the refrigeration, the heat, the right temperatures to cook things in. What kind of surfaces? How many employees do you need there? What kind of products are going to be replaced frequently? What is your cost of doing business? If your cost of doing business is above what you're charging, you are operating at a loss from the get-go. So, being that is a product-based service, right? It's a product-based service. So they're making something, there's different expenses than an officiant would have, or an event planner, or event coordinator, where they have less expenses unless they are incorporating rentals in there as well. Or if an officiant is actually providing things like the sand, candle, time capsule sorts of things. So that's a little bit more basic as far as figuring out the pricing. But what I suggest to folks is when you're figuring out your pricing, when you're starting out, really think about what you not only want to make per hour, okay? What are you worth? How much time and effort did you put in? What is your advertising cost? What is your education costing you as you are learning more and more and going back and going to all these meetings? You have to take that into consideration too. Every networking event is going to cost you something, either for the ticket, the beverage, the food, etc. It might be an investment. It could be $5. It could be $50 to attend an event. Your time, your gas, and all that, for those sorts of things. Your advertising is a cost too. So take into consideration all of those aspects of what it is costing you to actually be involved in your aspect of the event business, right? There's lots that goes into packaging and pricing, and that's one of the very, very, very important pillars. What happens is that people get involved in the event business and they don't realize that, and they don't charge enough. Anyone who was on last week heard me say several times, the first ceremony I ever did, I charged $150. I did phone conversations, in-person conversations, ran a rehearsal with them, did the writing from scratch for the first ceremony, and I only charged $150. So I think at the end of the day, I probably made between $10 and $15 an hour. So I had thought when I charged, wow, for 1/2 hour of service, I'm going to get $150. I didn't take into consideration the gas that it took to get there, the gas that it took to get to the meeting, the time it took at the meeting, etc. That I really wasn't making much then. And I gave myself a raise immediately. The next ceremony I charged $250. And I thought, no, that wasn't enough. It had to be something that was going to help me get into a position where I didn't have to go back to my full-time job after having my twins. And I made sure that I was set up that way. And now charging much more for the same services. Now we're around $950 for that full service with the rehearsal, with the personalized ceremony, the storytelling, the phone calls, etc. And I don't have to, most of the time, go to an in-person meeting. We're doing things by Zoom and we're doing things by phone. The pandemic, although it was unfortunate and very stressful and such, it really did. There's one thing that shifted in our business was virtual. It's being able to really connect with people and be more personable via video. If you had spoken to me a few years ago, I would not be going live on Facebook at 10 o'clock at night. But I know some of you are still up tonight or are going to check this on a replay also. I'll make sure to keep this up for this video, at least will be up for the week, so that you can view it and get an idea of what you might have missed last week if you don't catch the replays. All right, so we had niching on Monday. That's really honing in on what your specialty is. Tuesday was branding, establishing yourself, and reminder, you are your brand. So how you stand out from everybody else, how you present yourself in your business, what your website looks like, what your print material looks like, how you dress, how you speak, etc. All represents your brand. The people you surround yourself with in your business represent your brand. And then the digital marketing to support all that and to convey who you are as a business and who you are as a person. If you show up authentically as a business and you put your personality behind it, that's wonderful. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't try and create a business that doesn't feel good to you because you will burn out so freaking fast. All right. Then Wednesday, it was networking and relationship building. Then we had sales, packaging, and pricing, different tiers of packages, very smart so that you have something for the people that just want very basic, but you can get those kinds of things done super fast. They don't take up a majority of your time. Then you have that step up where, a lot of your clients are going to fall, which is fabulous. Just having people right in the middle, sort of that sweet spot of who you want to draw in. And then you have the folks that are up here that really want the whole kit and caboodle, that ceremony, the rehearsal, the in-person meetings, etc. If that's who your ideal client is, then having that upper package is fabulous. My ideal client, I like working somewhere in the middle. So I actually have different levels of service where we have the elopements, and the micro weddings, and then we have the middle is the simple custom ceremonies, and the personalized is kind of in the middle together. Those are my ideal clients. Adding on a rehearsal to me, even though that's more expensive, I'd rather do another ceremony than have to block off our Friday or Saturday night to do a rehearsal. I don't think it's necessary. It's not something that they need me there for as an officiant, which is one part of our business. So for me, my ideal client doesn't necessarily need a rehearsal, but if they do, fine, we can do that for them too. It's an extra fee. It means blocking off our calendar a bit. And then on Friday, we talked about client relationship management. And we also talked about artificial intelligence and using that in your business, which, oh my gosh, so many people were interested in AI. So that's definitely something that we're going to have to talk more about in the Event Business Boss program, but also in future webinars and such. So look out for that coming down the pike. All right. But the CRMs were really the focus. That's the customer relationship management. So when you're building your business, it's so important to stay organized. And you probably wouldn't believe me if you saw my desk right now. My husband's sitting in his chair laughing, and he's trying not to make any noise, but it's okay. I know my desk is an absolute disaster right now. But what I mean by organization is not necessarily what other people mean. I mean having it in the system, automated. I have a lot of paper clutter and I hate it. I love having things on the computer where I can find them. So in my CRM, I keep a lot of notes. I keep all of my contracts, my final payment reminders, my retainers for services. People can pay through my portal, and it just automatically logs that a payment's been made. Other reminders go out for our officiant clients of, here's your questionnaire. It's 60 days prior, time to get your marriage license. If they're in New York, they have to do it around 60 days or less. If they're a photo booth client, then they're going to have forms to fill out of what template they want to use for the prints. And that's the little frame that goes around the prints that we give them, either digital or actual physical prints. They have also the backdrop to pick out. And if they have a hashtag, if they want a special message to go out with the emails that go to their client, their guests. If their corporate clients are going to have different contracts than the personal clients, and that's all automated in the system. I just have to select, etc. So the CRM is very important because it can keep everything in one place. If I wanted to reach quite a number of people at once, I can go into my system. There's a tag on there that I can reach a certain group. Let's say people did Sweet 16s. Well, now their kids are going to college and they need a grad party. It's time to start hitting them for the grad parties advertising. If they've just graduated high school, maybe they're going to need a grad party in 2 to 4 years, depending on what they're doing. Maybe they have siblings that had a mitzvah, that another mitzvah event's coming up. It's just being able to remind people who you are, what you're doing, what your specials are, what your, if you have just like free blogs you can share with them, and keep yourself in front of them. Having a good CRM means you can continue a relationship with your clients, but you can also put your fellow professionals on there as well in your CRM. So you can keep in touch with them and say, hey, I'm doing Judy's ceremony next week. I just wanted to check in. Is there a microphone on site? Do I need to bring something? How many guests did they confirm? Maybe I don't need a microphone if there's only 15 people there. My voice tends to carry. So unless they're delivering their own vows and they tend to speak super low, they don't really need a microphone if they have such a small gathering. So I check in about equipment, arrival time, how long I'm going to be there for, whether it's an officiant setup or photo booth or photography. So then we went into AI and how you can really tune into that and use that for your marketing copy, your emails, your website, etc. Different things that you type in can really help you tweak the content that is on your website, in your emails, on your blogs, on your Facebook pages, your Instagram posts, the email list, but also the emails directly to your clients and to other professionals. Maybe you're trying to come up with print material. You can use so much of AI, helps with that. Now, one of the reasons I recapped all this is because I know that there are some people that aren't going to have time this past week. It's summertime. I get it. You may not go through and watch everything, but I wanted to give you an idea of what we did cover last week in the Book More Celebrations Boot Camp. There were some ideas shared. There was what you need to do and why it's so important. But actually putting that all together and putting action behind it is the hardest step. So I have structured a 4-month program for people who want to leave their day jobs sooner rather than later. If you don't want to wait 5 years, 10 years to leave that day job that you're dreading, or maybe you think it's okay, but you want to do this full time. You want to DJ, be a photographer, videographer, officiant, planner, coordinator, florist, whatever it is you want to do in the event industry. If you want to get there faster, I really think you should consider the Event Business Boss program. It is designed for people like you. If you're not sure if that's for you just yet, that's okay. I invite you to hop on a call this week with me. I'd like to talk to you about the options that you have, where you are in your business, and let's see if it's a good fit for you. I've talked to some people this past week that, they're excited about it. They want to get started, and that's wonderful. But there's some other people that just aren't ready, and that's okay. So we figure out, okay, what are the next steps for those people that are not ready to enter the Event Business Boss program yet? So if you haven't started your business yet, we need to talk about what you need to do before you can get into what I call EBB, Event Business Boss, okay? So there's some steps you'd have to take before you can get in there. You really need to start working on your business first. We can do one-to-one coaching and some other things, but the Event Business Boss program is designed for people who have been doing this, already know that they absolutely love what they do. They're not trying it out and hoping it works out. They know they love what they do already, and they want to go for it. So that's who this is for. I would love to talk with you. Send me an email or text me. Let me know if you want to set up a phone call. If you're ready to join, I invite you to join. I want you to know that the doors are open. Tomorrow, we're scheduled to take those Facebook videos down with the replays. Like I said, I'm considering leaving them up there a little bit longer so that you can enjoy them and really soak them in and ask questions. But if you are ready to take your business to a whole new level, I would love to work with you. Let's get on a call if you need to, or you go to the links. I'll put them in the comments so that you know exactly where to go. So you can see the full details. The bonuses are still available. We've got some wonderful bonuses, including some one-to-ones and my email templates so that you don't have to create everything from scratch. Gosh, there's so many good little parts of the Event Business Boss program. When you put it all together, you're going to be so excited when you go through this program that you'll be well on your way to getting to a position to leave your full-time job so that you can do this full-time. It takes work. It takes grit. It takes digging in, but it's not going to take 100 hours a week of your time. I promise you that. You're going to have time to put it into it. We're going to talk about that and how to set yourself up so you structure things at your pace, but you need to be able to put in several hours a week to make this work in that amount of time. That's not a promise that after 4 months, you're going to be able to leave your job. I'm going to make that really clear too. This is a pathway to help you get to that point. These are the pillars that you need to be able to do that. So it's 4 months of laying those out, getting them set up, so you keep going up, 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 and you can fly. It's not a, let's run off the cliff and see if this works, and splat. It's, here you go. Here's what you need. Here's what you need to do. Let's troubleshoot some situations that you're already in. Let's get you to a position where you can make this happen. But you need to do the work. I'm not going to do it for you. You have to make the commitment, make the decision that you are ready and you really want to do this. And I would love to see you inside the Event Business Boss program. So thank you for your time tonight. I am excited. I would love to see you all. If you're ready to see you in there, you can reply to one of my emails the past few days, put a comment here, send me a direct message through Book More Celebrations. Just reply to Lucy if you are connected with Lucy, or just go into Book More Celebrations, the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Book More Celebrations. Okay, or you can go to your dashboard and send me a message. All right, have a fabulous night. Thank you for joining me. Surprise, Monday night, show up here. But I wanted to make sure that you have the information that you need. Ask me questions along the way, and I will see you soon. Have a great night, everybody.